It's in 53 days. Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
One day closer to SEC Media Days. We are now 6 days away from the official start of college football season. Drew Barrett, Matty T here with you for the next 2 hours on this beautiful Tuesday across the natural state. Hopefully, wherever you are listening, it's not too hot. Hopefully, you're inside hydrating and relaxation is going on as you're listening. You've got us for the next 2 hours, like I said, and we've got a great show lined up for you as well. As always on Tuesday, Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation. She's going to join us at the bottom of hour number one. I'm going to talk storylines around Arkansas going into SEC Media Days, which she expects to kind of get out of it. We now know the players that will be in Atlanta. We'll talk to her about that and so much more. Then we'll continue our college football conversation and more along the lines of a broader SEC conversation, a broader college football conversation with friend of the show, David Cobb from CBS Sports, who covers college football and college basketball for CBS Sports. He'll join us at the bottom of the second hour. We got so much different stuff lined up for you today. Got plenty on the docket to talk about. We've got MLB news. We've got Arkansas news. We've got changes in college basketball conference standings news, which is a little weird, kind of the BCS version of college basketball, if you will. It's the week of the Open, more NFL stuff, as always, because even though it technically has a season, the NFL never stops. But with Phil Elson not here, we do have a text and call question of the day. Matty T talked about it a little bit as we were leaving the show yesterday. The topic today, best roadside attractions you've seen or ones you've always wanted to go to. Because, Matty, if they're anything like me, you're there to make good time. That's what the drive is. You know, most people always like to say life is about the journey, not the destination.
That's what I like to think.
When I'm on a road trip, it's always about the destination. And it's always about how fast I can get to the destination. It's all about how many minutes can I tick off that estimated the GPS arrival. Mm-hmm. You know, I know exactly where I'm going every time I leave from the Barling Studios to go across the river. I know exactly what route I'm taking. It's a pretty straight shot. I know exactly how long the GPS is going to tell me that it's going to take to get there. But I still plug it in just so I can beat the time. I don't know if that's something that every guy does, if it's a macho manly thing to try to just beat the phone, but it's something I always do. So I don't do a lot of roadside attractions. Now, there's been some I remember as a kid that I always wanted to stop at, but unfortunately, apple doesn't fall too far from the tree because my dad is also, when you're in the car, it's about the destination, not the journey. So you're going to have to carry a lot of these things because I know you are the exact opposite.
Yes,
you are someone who will pull over if it looks even.
That's correct. In this past trip I took to Illinois, we carved out, extra time to do a lot of these stops, and then still didn't get to do everything I wanted to because there's like big antique shops and stuff I'd like to stop by and look. But one of them was in this place called Uranus, Missouri, and everything there's a pun.
Of course,
they've got like a sideshow museum, and of course they sell fudge. Yeah, and
As they should.
And then when you walk in there, everybody says, "Welcome to Uranus." But
at least they've got a good sense of humor about it. I mean, you have to work and live in a town called Uranus.
But I had told you last week, driving through Tennessee, it's like there would be a few random things that came across. Like you'd see the sign. One of them was, I forget, it was like from in between Nashville and Memphis. It was the Tina Turner.
Right there in Paris, Tennessee.
They have her like schoolhouse from when she was a kid restored, and you can go in there and have all kinds of her outfits and stuff, but completely random. I just saw the sign on the side of the road.
Well, I mean, just in that stretch of I-40 between Memphis and Nashville, you've got the Tina Turner in Paris. You've got Loretta Lynn's.
The Country Kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's tons of roadside attractions in Jackson, Tennessee.
There's
as well.
the Rusty's Car Museum and Casey Jones Village.
Oh, I love Casey Jones Village. We've been going there for years on trips to Nashville or up to Northeast.
So y'all made
Kentucky.
time. Y'all made time for that.
We did because of the food. Because we saw it as a destination to eat. It has to be for road trips with my father, and now I guess with me, because I've carried this on, that if we're going to stop, there has to be a purpose about the stop. It can't just be to see something, to stretch our legs, to, oh, that looks interesting. It has to be for a purpose. And a purpose is to refuel both the car and your body. So we would always stop in Jackson, either on the way there or on the way back to eat. So I do love Casey Jones Village. So I have done that, but a lot of these roadside attractions just never really got around to do. I've always wanted to do a lot of these backway trips. Like I've been told since I moved here, you got to do the actual pig trail to get up to Fayetteville. It's a beautiful drive. That's why I've been told. I've always wanted.
And there's like an area you can stop in. I think they call it the Arkansas Grand Canyon. You got a real beautiful view.
Oh, okay. I've always wanted to do the Natchez Trace through Mississippi, down all the way to the beach. I've always wanted to do Highway 57 from Memphis to Chattanooga.
So did you ever do?
I've never
the Blues Highway.
I've never done that. I've wanted to do that too. It's just I don't have when I'm on vacation or I'm on a road trip. There's never seems to be any time to spare, or I'm just too stubborn and I'd rather do something else at my destination. So 877-377-6963, your best roadside attractions that you've seen or either have wanted to go to, and we'll talk about that and take your text throughout the show. So I did mention that we are 6 days away from SEC Media Days down in Atlanta. And we now know who will be representing each team down in Atlanta. So obviously starting with Arkansas, going to have quarterback KJ Jefferson, no shocker there. Jalen Catalon, no shocker there. And, of course, I think most people in their cars right now know exactly who number 3 is, and that would be Bumper Pool, the senior linebacker. Those three will be with Sam Pittman. And I believe they go on Wednesday. So we'll get all that audio and have probably multiple of those guys on the show on Wednesday throughout the day on the Morning Rush, and halftime is both me and Ty Richardson will be down there. Other notable names that will be at SEC Media Days, you'll have Will Anderson Jr. and Bryce Young from Alabama, Tank Bigsby from Auburn, Anthony Richardson, the quarterback at Florida, Stetson Benton Jr. will be there for Georgia, Will Levis for LSU. Let's see, some other notable names. And I'm just now realizing that my printout only covers half the SEC. So it's kind of
it happens.
Yeah, so that's kind of useless right now.
But stay tuned because
I'm
sure a little bit later we'll have it.
I'm sure I'll print out the other half on the other side of the break, and we'll get back to that bit.
We have our printer set up weird where it doesn't print on multiple. It's like it prints front and back, and that always throws me off.
It does me too. So like when I just picked up the printer and I just saw like 2 names on the back of the page, I was like, okay, it's obviously got all of them on there, and I just didn't even look
just
at
took
the
it for
front.
granted.
I did. You can't be that guy. You got to read things, and that's why I mess up on so many ads here, so many copy. is because I just trust myself that either I wrote it right, I printed it out right, and I'd say I'm batting about 250 on that.
I mean, even yesterday, you referred to a guest who you've had on and done radio with 300 times. Was it you referred to him as Keith Sweat?
Keith Smart.
Keith Smart,
who is the assistant coach at Arkansas. So I guess I do get somewhat of a pass for that, because I think we've had Keith Smart on these airways.
It wasn't yesterday.
No, it wasn't yesterday, but since the last time we had Keith Smith, and I did feel really bad.
I love that he corrected you too.
He did, and I was like, oh my God, because when I tell you I have been on air with that man from this station and the other station a combined 300, 400 times, to where that should never happen, to where I'm talking 4, 5, maybe even 6 years now. I have known Keith Smith. That should not happen. So, 250 is not terrible. I'm above the Mendoza line, but I'd at least like to get in the 300s here in a bit. Hopefully I'll bat somewhere close to 500 today. I've got a good feeling about today's show and all that it entails. 877-377-6963, your favorite roadside attractions as you've seen over the years. The weirder, the better. Send them that way. We'll talk more college football, get into some MLB news on the other side. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
That's it! Arkansas is going to the Sweet 16. Naismith for the Elite Eight. Arkansas has won. Arkansas is going to the Elite Eight for the first time since 19.
The company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including this year's Wimbledon Finals, Major League Baseball, the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to get the bonus and get into the action. Bet online, where the game starts.
This song was mistakenly thought to be about animal rights or shock therapy, but Shock the Monkey is really about jealousy. If we're just highly evolved primates, then why does adultery make us so irate? Natural selection would never make you hate someone who would seminate. It's because a supernatural God wired monogamy into our DNA. If you think this issue is benign, you'll be shocked to see Proverbs 6:29. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
A pre-owned vehicle that won't break the bank? Good luck in this market.
But wait, Joe knows good deals. That's right, Joe can get you in a pre-owned car as low as $269 a month, or a truck starting at only $299 a month. Joe knows how to give you more for your trade and save your hard-earned cash. Come see Joe at the Crane Used Car Supercenter, because Joe knows. U.S. Highway 71 in Fort Smith.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for...
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Calling all fans of flavor. There's something new at your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Fridays Fajitas. Fajitas you love in bold new flavors like dynamite shrimp, tandoori chicken, and the spicier whiskey glazed blaze Tex-Mex. Right now, get free chips and queso with any Fajitas order. Dine in or order online for curbside pickup at Fridays.com. New Fridays Fajitas at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Hey, be listening for your chance to qualify for the Hardy 17th Annual Football Trip of a Lifetime. A date with the Titans and Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium November 6th.
Well, I had 2 weeks of vacation time coming after working all year down at Big Roy's Heating and Plumbing. So one night when my family and I were gathered round the dinner table, I said, kids, if you could go anywhere in this great big world now, where'd you like to go to? They said, Dad, we want to see the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. They picked the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Like Mr. Announcer Man said, you can get in touch with the show, 877-377-6963. Your best roadside attractions you've ever stopped at or have ever seen and maybe wish you had stopped at, maybe planning on stopping at on your next road trip. Calvert from Boonville, he texts us in. He says the coolest side stop that they made on a trip was to Bristol Motor Speedways. They were headed up to Maryland, just saw it on the side of the interstate, so they decided to stop and take some pictures, and they had the track open. Wow, so you're able to walk out onto the track. That is pretty cool. I've been near Bristol, I guess through Bristol, because I was on the way to Baltimore a few times, but never stopped at Bristol. Have stopped at Talladega before. It was not open, but did take pictures of the sign and everything like that. Now, I don't know if that counts as roadside attractions. Like, when I think of roadside attractions, what I think about is what Mr. Yankovic is singing about right now, like the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota, or like the big axe, or the
biggest rocking chair.
Or the silo painted like a Budweiser can.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or that's that way. I was pointing the wrong direction, but it's radio. Nobody can see anyways. Like, those are the type of attractions. They're like roadside petting zoos, roadside, like, quirky museums. Like, it's run by a guy named Three Finger Bob.
Yeah.
Like, I want Three Finger Bob, One-Eyed Willie stories here. There's got to be some of you out there that have just been like, all right, this is so crazy, we have to stop. So, like, I can't remember. I don't think it was the same trip as Talladega, but it was with the same guy. A guy I did a show with back in Memphis. We did a Memphis Tiger football show every Sunday, and we would go to the bowl games together. And one time we were going down to Boca, so we stopped in Gainesville, saw the swamp, stopped in Tallahassee, saw that campus and stuff. So, like, yeah, that was somewhat of a side attraction, I guess, to the trip, but I don't know if I'd call that a roadside attraction. It's got to be something different.
You've never stopped at the Blue Well of Catoosa?
I have not.
You're familiar with it,
I am familiar, though. I have
That's
seen
a good
pictures.
roadside attraction. So when Phil and I went up to see Weird Al in Tulsa, I went up ahead of time, and I stopped there and had, like, a little picnic lunch,
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now I'm guessing that's not off of the...
It's close. No, it's real close.
How where the tolls are? What's that called? An expressway?
Yeah.
How far is it off the expressway, or do you have to go?
Not far.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I've only been to Tulsa like twice. So.
It's like right on the edge of Tulsa.
Okay. Well, I'll have to stop and see it sometime.
Which that wouldn't take much time away from your trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if you're going to Tulsa. 877-377-6963. See, this is kind of something that I'm talking about. Drew in Fayetteville says Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about
Cadillacs,
that. Never been
you
there.
can spray paint. I've know some people that have done it. And, like, if I was ever, what's the Take It Easy town? The town in Take It Easy.
Oh, Winslow, Arizona.
Winslow, Arizona. Apparently, they do actually have standing at a corner in Winslow, Arizona,
like a statue.
A statue of it's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford. Like they have a statue of a flatbed Ford and a girl in it. Like that would be one of those cool side road trip attractions as well. So keep those coming in as we will get to your text. And if you want to call 877-377-6963, we'll get to those across the show today, as that is our text and call question of the day. I did pull up the rest of the list on my computer for other people of note that will be at SEC Media Days. Hendon Hooker, quarterback from Tennessee, will be there. The main thing of people that I didn't mention that will be there, and I think that it's more interesting of who is not there. Spencer Rattler, the quarterback for the South Carolina Gamecocks, will not be representing USC at SEC Media Days. I think that's, I don't know really how interesting that is or how much you really need to look into it, because quarterbacks aren't always there. I mean, out of the 14 SEC teams at SEC Media Days, only 7 quarterbacks will be participating. Obviously, I think I said the 6 before, and then Mike Wright, quarterback from Vanderbilt. But I mean, who really cares? It's Vanderbilt. Like, they're gonna have to introduce me to Mike Wright. I'm not gonna just know exactly who he is. He could be walking through the through Media Row, and I don't know if I could pick him out from the crowd or from somebody that's not from a random radio station across the Southeast. So it's going to be interesting. Some of the guys that will be there, some of the guys that won't be there, some of the storylines that we will follow. And like I said, we're going to talk a lot of those storylines from a national point of view with the SEC and just college football in general. David Cobb at the bottom of the second hour. We'll have Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation at the bottom of this hour. But before we get to her, do want to just throw out some different things here before we move on. So we found out, I believe it was over the weekend. Yeah, it was over the weekend. That was when All-Star selections, and you've learned the representative of each team. Obviously every team has to be represented in the All-Star game as far as reserves. And we found out that Albert Pujols will be in the All-Star game. But coming from friend of the show, Katie Wu of The Athletic, who we've had on here before, Albert Pujols will also be participating in the Home Run Derby, which is very interesting. I think that it brings some star power back into the Home Run Derby, and it definitely needs it. I don't think baseball has to worry as badly as, the NBA when it comes to slam dunk contests. You really want your big name guys. You want guys that fans know, that fans love, that fans admire, that not only can really hit home runs, but can draw in a crowd. Albert Pujols is definitely going to be able to do that. Still haven't seen a complete list of guys that will participate in the Home Run Derby. I'm sure with Albert stepping up, it'll definitely be pretty impressive. So gonna have a good to decent, maybe even great All-Star game, All-Star weekend. I go back and forth between how I feel about All-Star games.
We're going to carry it on these airwaves.
We are going to carry it.
And the Home Run Derby.
And the Home Run Derby. You'll be able to hear it on all of the stations.
All of them.
All of the ESPN stations.
Even streaming.
And even streaming. And on hitthatline.com.
It's going to be an action-packed Monday and Tuesday next week.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun.
SEC Media Days, home run derbies, all-star games. Oh, geez, I'm so excited just thinking about it.
So much stuff going on, Maddie.
So many activities.
There's so much room for activities. We've put the beds together. We made the bunk beds. It's July.
We're just kicking our legs around.
There's so much room for activities around here. And Alyssa Orange will be joining us here in a minute to talk Arkansas football, Arkansas in general. Courtney Deifel, she picked up a transfer. I may ask her about that if we have enough time there at the end. So don't go anywhere. Plenty of great stuff to come here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
I asked Ramona how come she works there. She says, well, it's got its charm. There's nothing to do in the winter. Now then some kid gets bit at the snake farm. Snake farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake farm, pretty much is snake farm. It's a reptile.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. And folks, this is my favorite time of year. It's Jeep Freedom Days. And you know, at Red River, one thing we believe in, that's freedom. Like right now, you've got the freedom to order your car online at redriverjeep.com. You can custom build it and get it however you want. And you have the freedom to take the in-person experience and come in and order your vehicle right here from a salesperson or buy one right off our lot. So make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs or check us out online at redriverdodge.com.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's, 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 Reese's.
Reese's. Hey, get out of here, you little stinker. Reese's.
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 Peanut Butter Cups. That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Come in and enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this plus a drink for only $8.99. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
The Summer Sell-Down Sales Event is going on right now at Breen RV in Van Buren. New 2023 models are starting to arrive from Forest River, Keystone, Coachman, and StarCraft, all backed by Breen RV's Free Maintenance for Life program. Cure your summertime blues in a 29-foot StarCraft that sleeps up to 10 people for just $229 a month with zero down. With savings up to $20,000 off MSRP on new travel trailers, now is the best time to get your new RV from Breen RV. That's Breen RV in Van Buren, where adventures begin.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has two locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Are you a qualified CDL
CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Welcome back to Halftime here on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. About to be joined by Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation. You can follow her on Twitter at Alyssa Orange, as she is joining us here now to talk all things Arkansas and SEC, as SEC Media Days is 6 days away.
Looks like her call dropped. I'm going to call her right back.
Well, that's perfectly
There she is,
fine.
calling us.
That's perfectly fine, Maddie, because it gives me time to do one of these live readies things. And one of the best live reads that I can do is to promote myself. And I say that because I'm going to be on the road this week before SEC Medias. I'll be up in Harrison, and it's a perfect time for you to come see me, see what I look like in person, as we'll be doing a live show in Harrison from 11 to 1 at the grand opening of the new location of Wood Power Sports in Harrison. Come check out their great selection and new completely remodeled showroom. There's a huge selection of both new and pre-owned side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, dirt bikes, even lawnmowers. Find what you want in stock and take it home. So come see me and all those great products at the new Wood Power Sports in Houston, Friday, this July 15th at 608 Highway 62 and 65 in Harrison. I'll see you there. Alyssa.
Hell yeah.
Alyssa, we got you now?
Yes, I'm here, and I vote. Go see Drew. Do it. He's a nice guy.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, Alyssa, SEC Media Days is 6 days away.
Aw.
I know, Bella. I got Bella. We're running around the kids museum at the moment, so you might hear some kids in the background.
That is perfectly fine. Alyssa,
We need more younger listeners.
We really do. We need to grow our brand. So make sure that
trying to recruit, guys.
Hey, we definitely appreciate it. So news earlier today about the representatives from each team. Any shock for the three guys, Jalen Cataline, KJ Jefferson, or Bumper Pool for Arkansas?
No, and I might have to burst your bubble. I knew that was coming out, so it wasn't a shock at all. And when I heard it a couple weeks ago that that's who was going to go, it just made the most sense. You have a guy like Bumper Pool who has represented Arkansas in this brand for the past 5 years, KJ Jefferson, and anytime you can bring QB1, you take him with you. And I think that's a really good symbolic thing for Arkansas, because if I believe, unless I am mistaken, maybe Austin Allen might have been the last quarterback to go to SEC Media Days for the Razorbacks, because he was a returning starter. And it made sense. So for them to bring someone like KJ Jefferson there to show, look, we have a QB1, this is our guy, and for him to represent Arkansas, I just think that speaks volumes. And then you got a guy like Jalen Catalon who'll be playing at the next league most likely, and people love his story. He's coming off injury, and so he'll have a lot of questions about what it's going to take for him to get back on the field and what his recovery was like. So really excited to see what these three guys have to say next week.
Mm-hmm. And I think KJ is going to be, out of all three of those guys, I think the most interesting kind of questions, not from, what we're going to ask him, but I think what he might get from from a national standpoint, because I think KJ Jefferson's gotten a lot of love, from the national media, the national SEC media in the offseason. I've seen a lot of lists, because it is list season, having KJ Jefferson at 2 or 3 in the SEC. If you were going to make a list, would you have him that high, or is there still maybe some type of hesitancy? Because can he put it together into back-to-back seasons?
Well, no, and I think these preseason ones are really about what you did last year anyways, and the projection for this year, and the way that KJ really kind of proved people wrong last year. Sets the tone for what he's going to do this season, and obviously Bryce Young is the full-on number one if you were to put them in the preseason rankings, and he's the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, so it makes sense. But I think KJ proved that he can hang with anybody in the SEC and really in the country. So I would be surprised if we don't see him second team pre-SEC at the media voting by the end of the week.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of media voting, we've had, once again, like I said, it's list season, so you get all these predictions, all these different lists. And Sports Illustrated put out their list a few days ago, and they actually had Arkansas finishing 9-3. Second in the West, I believe, tied with Mississippi State, which was kind of out of left field a little bit for me there, behind Alabama. When we get to media voting next week, do you think that Arkansas will be in that same position? Do you think most people are that high on?
I bet they'll be up there. Here's the deal with that media voting, too. There are so many Alabama media. Now, it's usually in Hoover, so that makes sense. And a lot of times it's just a popularity contest. So Alabama's probably going to take number 1, and Georgia, but here's the thing. Arkansas, you put them at 2, you put them at 3. Shoot, you can even put them at 4. Arkansas fans right now, they understand that these votes really don't mean a whole lot, but they're tired of being 7th. Okay, and so I remember a couple of years ago when Brett Bielema, his first SEC media days, was like, pick a 7th. I don't care. We'll prove you wrong. And that's been that mentality for so long. But I feel like this Arkansas football program has kind of proved beyond that it's like, okay, we've proven that we don't belong at the bottom of the SEC West. Stop putting us there. We've proven this past year that we can play with anybody. So you're going to see Arkansas in that maybe 3, 4. I don't know if the SEC media will put them at 2, just because of, if history shows anything, you might not see that. But a 2 or a 3 or a 4 is where they should be if the voting has any kind of representation of what this team can actually do.
Now, outside of KJ Jefferson and just, talking about Jalen Catalon, what do you think are going to be some of the main storylines that people are going to want to find out from Sam Pittman and his players on SEC Media Days?
What are you doing with Malik Hornsby? I think it's going to be a big question. Your wide receiver group is going to be a big question. You got a lot of guys who transferred in, and that room is pretty good. Your backfield, what's that going to look like? And then your secondary. What is your secondary going to look like? And you've got so many names that a lot of those guys have talent, but outside of Jalen Catalon, they haven't played a lot of football. So, that a girl. She's not very happy with my answer, clearly. But that's what I think you're going to get. And then maybe how the summer's been treating him on Lake Hamilton. Might get some fun questions like that, too.
Definitely love the fun questions. Well, listen, we'll let you go. We'll let you get back to your kids, and y'all enjoy the museum, okay?
I got an unhappy 1-year-old who's probably cranky and tired. I don't blame her. No, it's hot down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Okay.
All right. You have a great rest of your trip, okay?
Guys, thanks so much. Always. See you next week.
Hey, appreciate it, Alyssa. That is Alyssa Orange. You can follow her on Twitter at Alyssa Orange of the Pig Trail Nation. Thanks to her for taking time out of her clearly.
Obviously, she's busy right now.
She's got her hands full, so I appreciate.
She handled that very well.
She actually did. Alyssa's a true professional, someone that I think most people in this business, including myself, strive to emulate. That is definitely for sure. 877-377-6963. We'll get back into our roadside attraction conversation and talk a little bit more about some other topics from around the landscape of sports. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to close out hour number 1 here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
It's July and it's hot, and so are the prices at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of July, Frank Rowe Furniture has slashed the prices on all made in the USA furniture. You can save hundreds of dollars and in some cases thousands. Made in the USA furniture, family owned, in-store no credit check financing, service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house, 405 Port Street, Barling, Arkansas.
Get the best value, service, and TV locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Stop in and ask us about the Hopper 3, Dish's most advanced DVR that delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now. WOW World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or online at shopwownow.com. World of Wireless is located at 601 Church Street in Barling, next to Frank Rowe Furniture. That's 601 Church Street in Barling. Come see us at our new location.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. Fishing never stops. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle has everything from jigs to raincoats, Todd Huckabee crappie rods, Bobby Garland crappie jigs, and stay warm and dry with a River West rain suit, the area's largest selection of Zoom plastics, Flash Mob Jr., Kitech swim baits, Mega Bass rods, plus rattle traps, life jackets, and rod and reel repair. Find all the top brands and everything you need at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
How would you like for your family to swim for free for a year? Well, it's possible this summer with Burton Pools and Spas. It's the Red, White, and Blue Savings Event going on now. Hi, Tommy Kraft here for Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Here's the deal. Choose 0% interest and no payments for the next 12 months, or take a rebate up to $2,000 off on Doughboy semi-in-ground pools or Doughboy above-ground pools. It's the Red, White, and Blue Savings Event going on right now, and there's no better way to spend time with your family this summer than in your own backyard with your own pool by Doughboy. Nobody makes a better semi-in-ground pool or above-ground pool than Doughboy. And you can always trust the team from Burton Pools and Spas for a quality installation. Hey, this is a limited time offer at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Swim for free for a year. Find out more online at burtonpools.com. 0% offer good with approved credit at Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, where you can get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
Carco Auto Sales takes great pride in serving Fort Smith, the River Valley, and eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years, offering a variety of quality, late model, low mileage vehicles at unbeatable values. The friendly and knowledgeable staff can help you find the car you deserve, priced to fit your budget. Carco Auto Sales will purchase your vehicle as well. Come see the team at 2810 Midland Boulevard or give them a call at 783-1722. Check them out online at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Be listening for your chance to qualify for the Hardy 17th Annual Football Trip of a Lifetime. A date with the Titans and Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium November 6th.
My sister's kid is tattooed from his head down to his toes. He claims trouble follows him everywhere he goes. He's such a lazy, loafing, good-for-nothing, drunken slob. But still he thinks I ought to give his sorry ass a job. Yeah, people and their problems are giving me a pain. People and their problems are messing with my brain. I try to help them solve them, but they always stay the same. People and their problems are driving me insane.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
877-377-6963. Send us your favorite roadside attractions that you've ever been to or have passed by. The fiance gets in on the conversation as she texted me her favorite thing that she's seen, and we've never actually like stopped and like got out of the car or like even like gone near it. It's right here in Chaffee Crossing. The Christmas pickle.
Oh, okay.
Is that
I've
that
stopped.
counts?
I've stopped and taken a picture of it.
I
yeah.
mean, I did for a year live 100 feet from the Christmas pickle, as I lived right there at the hub for the first year that
That's
I was
the
here.
world's largest
It's
Christmas
the world's
pickle.
largest Christmas pickle. That looks more of like a jalapeno than a pickle, but I can guess because it's shaped, a little narrower at the bottom. So, apparently a lot of people like the Christmas pickle. Will from Fort Smith, he just texted and says that his girlfriend loves the Christmas pickle too. So apparently it's a big attraction. What goes on inside the building at the Christmas pickle?
They have Christmas during Christmas time. They have like a Christmas village for children in there.
So what was the big point around the world's largest Christmas pickle? Just to get it, put it on the map of saying, hey, what's the world's largest pickle? And Google will say, did you mean world's largest Christmas pickle? ? Like, was that the whole point and design around putting it as the world's largest Christmas pickle? But it has been something that everyone that has come and visited me from out of state since I moved here, they all have had questions. It does its job. What's the best thing about a roadside attraction, or how do you draw people in there? You make them question. You make them think. And the Christmas,
why?
Like, why do you have a world's largest Christmas pickle? And the answer probably is, well, why not? 877-377-6963. Do we have somebody on the phone?
We got Roscoe.
Roscoe, what's going on, Roscoe? What you got for us?
Not much, guys. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Good. Hey, listen, who is going to be our backup quarterback this year? Do we have somebody nailed down?
Well, right now it is Malik Hornsby. He's the guy who would be your number 2, but you're going to get him more you're just going to see him more in wide receiver packages. Could see really what he has both in the run game and obviously outsplit outside. But right now, as far as to my knowledge, it's Malik Hornsby's job to lose.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, kind of just banking on the health of KJ Jefferson, and I think they have enough faith in Malik that he can continue and carry the system.
Okay, I just thought maybe somebody was coming up through the ranks because that worries me. Malik being the backup, because he can run. There's no doubt about it. I guess we'll see if he can catch. But boys, if you watch games last year, he can't throw the football, and we got to throw the football. So, my opinion, of course, which means nothing to anybody but me. So, I guess we'll see.
Hey,
okay, thanks.
I appreciate the phone call, Roscoe. I'm sure that's going to be a question, something that Sam Pittman's going to have to discuss next week at SEC Media Days. I'm sure me or Ty will ask him about it, along with thousands of other media members there in Atlanta, like Alyssa just mentioned. She thinks that's probably going to be the second or third biggest question that's going to be asked. It's going to be asked about Malik Hornsby. It's going to be asked about what you have in case KJ goes down, because as we saw last year around the SEC, and as you see pretty much every season in college football, some teams are more equipped to handle injury at the most important position in all of sports. At the quarterback position, some teams are more equipped to handle it than others. You see what happened at A&M last year, thinking that King is going to be the guy. Now, Calzada didn't do a terrible job, but from all reports of what they had in King at A&M should have been a lot better. I think that if you ask A&M fans, they think that they probably would have had a lot more success last season had he not gotten injured. We see it, throughout college football of some teams are just more equipped and have better personnel and easier transition from 1 to 2. I'm not saying that Arkansas doesn't. Roscoe has a valid point. We really didn't get to see all that much of a good arm out of Malik Hornsby last year. You think about the spurts that he came into the game. Think about A&M. It was a lot of running packages. Now, ultimately, it didn't hurt you. You still won the game, but you're not really sure what he is in the arm category right now. But just to be the optimistic guy that I like to be Mr. Glass Half Full, we go back to this time last year. And what was the biggest criticism around KJ Jefferson? Can he throw the ball? That was the biggest criticism. And I'm pretty sure the man who threw 21 touchdowns threw for a completion percentage above 63%. I don't have the numbers right here in front of me, but it was a lot better than a lot of people gave him credit for. He was able to build on accuracy as he went through the season. I think if you look at KJ Jefferson from game 1 at Rice, and you look at KJ Jefferson in game 13 against Penn State in the Outback Bowl, those are two completely KJ Jeffersons. KJ Jefferson was able to progress and get better week in and week out. So while there are a lot of these questions, because it is the middle of summer, we don't have answers for it. We haven't seen practices. We haven't seen games. We don't know. You never know what you have until you know what you have until you see it with your own eyes, until you see it against opposing opponents on the field. There are always going to be those question marks. But just remember that there were question marks last year when it came to KJ. And luckily, you may never have to find out, right? You've seen that that Sam Pittman and Kendall Briles has done a good job recruiting quarterbacks. Their names aren't coming to me off the top of my head, but the future is bright in that QB room. You may never actually have to find out what you have in Malik Hornsby. Now, he could be the guy next year, or he couldn't be. He could prove to be such a valuable weapon on the outside in the receiving game, running sweeps in the running game. He could prove to be such a valuable weapon, and not just at the collegiate level. So you got to think about the next level. Malik Hornsby obviously has aspirations to go to the NFL like everybody else that suits up on Saturdays. They want to put that helmet on Sunday and Monday as well. So maybe Malik is able to not only fill that role, but excel so well at that role that's going to be his clear-cut path to the NFL, is to be a slot receiver, to be a guy who can really take advantage of the edge and get on the outside and can turn and burn type of player. Hopefully I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for. I think that's best case scenario, because one, if that's what happens, that means you're getting a lot more productivity. You're being able to replace the productivity that you got from Traylon Burks last year. And two, that means KJ Jefferson stayed healthy all season, that you didn't have to find out. So there are many question marks. And like we said, we're going to get some answers. Sam Pittman's going to tell us what he can tell us next week. Some of the answers are going to be answered. But none of the questions will be fully answered until we actually see how this whole season plays out. I've talked about it so many times, how there are so many question marks around Arkansas's opponents, around that schedule, and how everything's going to play out, to where I think that, honestly, outside of 12-0, I wouldn't call you crazy if you picked them 11-1, 10-2, 9-3. Heck, I wouldn't call you crazy if you picked them 8-4, 7-5, 6-6. No, I think 6-6 is the basement. I think there are 6 wins on there. Some of those 6 might be coin flips type of games, but 6-6 still the floor. And that's still something you can write home about. Not too many teams. I mean, even at 6-6, not too many teams is floor. Actual basement floor is still bowl game eligible. because of the question marks surrounding their opponents. I think the biggest thing that you have answered is what you have in KJ Jefferson. So that is the best thing that you've got going for you. You have a healthy Jalen Catalon coming back. You've got a great linebackers in Bumper Pool and Alabama transfer in Drew Sanders. Hopefully you're able to get more pressure in that front line on the defensive side. Your offensive line is older and more improved and better this year, which is going to allow plays to develop longer for KJ Jefferson to improve his passing game, even though it was very, very good last year. So there's a lot to be optimistic about. But I don't think that if you walk into a watering hole around these states and just get in a conversation that you should get mad at a guy for saying, oh, Arkansas probably might go 6-6. Well, that's a possibility. That's the thing about football. That's the thing about sports. Technically, they're all possible. You have to play the game. That's why they keep score. They don't just hand out national championships on Labor Day weekend. You got to play the games. And I don't think you should be mad at somebody that says Arkansas is going to go 11-1. I mean, because I do think 12-0 is kind of out of the picture. I mean, come on. As much as an Alabama win would be great, even if you are able to do that, you're probably going to slip up one week or another. So I think 11-1 is on the table. 10-2 is on the table. Like I said, anywhere between 11-1 and 6-6 is on the table for this team. It's just going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But before we get to the season, there's another competition going on right now, and it's the 17th annual Thick Burger Eating Contest for the football trip of a lifetime presented by Hardee's and us here at ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. The trip this year will be back to KC as the Chiefs takes on the Tennessee Titans Sunday night, November 6th in Arrowhead Stadium. The first qualifying opportunity will be this Thursday from 11-1. You'll eat a 1/3 pound thick burger in 90 seconds to qualify. The morning rush, they'll be out at Hardee's on Phoenix Avenue this Friday, the 15th. $1 sausage, biscuits, while the crew is there at all Fort Smith and Sallisaw locations from 6 to 9. That's the 17th annual football trip of a lifetime, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and HitThatLine.com. Hour number 2 when we come back.
Arkansas Valley Electric members living in Knoxville and Augsburg and surrounding areas, you can now sign up. Wave Rural Connect Internet is available for you. Fast fiber internet, TV, and even phone service. Internet starting at $49.95 a month, TV at $43.99, and phone for $29.95. Sign up now at signup.waveruralconnect.com or 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Picture another world, another dimension, where left is right, up is down, and chicken sandwiches only cost $1. This place exists, and it's called the Hardee's app. So when you buy one hand-breaded chicken sandwich, you get another for just $1. Cluck bait! It's time to fall for some cluck bait. Bite into the hand-breaded chicken menu only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants exclusively in the Hardee's Apper website by registered My Rewards members. Tax not included. See Apper website for additional terms and conditions.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our temperature well on its way to the mid-90s, mainly clear, low 70s tonight. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine. Our high low 90s north, upper 90s south, and more sunshine expected midweek. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Be listening for your chance to qualify for the Hardee's 17th annual football trip of a lifetime. A date with the Titans and Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium November 6th.
Proceed.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious... Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Hour number 2 on a Tuesday. A 2 for Tuesday? That's more of a music thing, right? Where you're listening to your classic rock station. What's going on, everybody? Classic rock here, 2 for 2 on 95.3.
Well, I know
here coming up back to back, Guns N' Roses.
I know into break it says it's Toyota Tuesday.
It is Toyota Tuesday. So listen to Ty. He loves his Camry. It's a slick looking vehicle. My brother has a Toyota truck that he absolutely Toyota Tacoma that he definitely loves. So
I have a Toyota.
You have a what?
A Toyota doll.
Oh, I was about to say, are you saying Toyota with a D? D there instead of a T? Okay.
A little play on words.
Yeah. 877-377-6963.
It wasn't funny, but it was a play on words.
It was a play on words. It was a good attempt.
It was an attempt.
I mean, it was good for a Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday.
You bring that weak sauce on Friday, you're out of here, buddy.
Yeah.
You're out of here. We saved the best for last, the golden hour. On halftime.
Gotta get rid of all that stuff early on in the week.
That is material. Don't you bring that B minus weak sauce on Friday, all right? That's all I'm telling you. Drew from Wichita reminds me of something that I didn't bring up last segment. He said, don't forget our running backs. We've got some beasts back there. Yeah, you do. I mean, you've got between Dominic Johnson and Rocket Sanders and what you might get out of Green this season as well. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. To watch those guys run, and you got everything setting up for that perfect combination, that perfect run-to-pass ratio, that perfect combination of keeping DCs and defensive players on their heels, not really knowing which way to go because they're going to have to pick and choose where they want you to beat you, and hopefully everything works out well to where you can beat them either way. To where they're just going to have to constantly be guessing in what you're going to do, and that gives you the upper hand all game long. Now, 877-377-6963. We're talking about the best roadside attractions that you've seen, been to. And while I said stadiums don't count, I will count this for Calvert. He texted us about Bristol, but also says that they found a high school with his name all over it in Baltimore. I don't
Calvert High?
I don't know if I've ever been to Calvert High, but that actually is pretty cool when the high school has your name after it, which means I guess there's a famous Calvert out there that we don't know. Maybe I should know that as having Baltimore, blood running through my veins. Maybe I should know of a famous Calvert around the Baltimore area, but I certainly don't. But that is cool. I will definitely.
Well, it's called Calvert County.
Calvert County?
Let's see if I can find out who that's named after. Oh, this is
I'm guessing it's just the county.
But originally, I mean, the
the
name had to
Calvert.
come from somewhere.
You're right. That's how names work. Somebody has to pick them. They're normally named after famous people. Was there a famous Calvert during the Revolutionary War? I don't remember one. Was Calvert like the Paul Revere's backup in case his horse broke his leg? Was Calvert going to be the guy if they'd come by land instead of sea? Did I have that right, or did I get that backwards? They came by sea, right? The British are coming. We're by sea. Answer me the question.
No, they crossed the land bridge, the Bering Strait.
Okay. They drove in on their Toyotas because it's a Toyota.
Okay, the county's name is derived from the family name of the Barons of Baltimore, the proprietors of the English colony of Maryland. Calvert County is included. Okay, this is
okay. So it's named after the royals of formerly the colony of Maryland, I'm guessing.
Wow, this is a lot of interesting information.
Well, you can Google on your own time. 877-377-6963.
So when I think about roadside attractions, like somebody mentioned, they didn't put their name, but a two-headed calf. Any place that has stuff like that.
Was it alive or was it?
Oh no, they're never alive. It's always a stuffed. But
yeah.
For something that's supposedly so rare, I've seen stuffed two-headed calves everywhere.
I've been to probably 2 or 3 different Ripley's Believe It or Not museums, and they all have.
They're
one.
all exactly. And dude, if you've seen one Ripley's museum, you've seen every
all.
Ripley's museum.
Now I do like the one that's in PCB down there, and that's Panama City Beach for you that don't know.
To all of us uncultured people,
aren't about that PCB life, I guess, down there in Florida. I do like it because the building itself looks like it's upside down.
That's the same one. It's like that in Branson too. They're
I'm
all
sure
like
they're
that.
like that. Okay. Well, I mean, joke's on me. I guess I haven't been to more than 1 or 2.
It's always the same. So that's
kind of cool, though. I mean, it's kind of cool. It looks like it's an upside down building.
I'm a sucker for them. Anytime I go into a place, just like I told you earlier, that Uranus, Missouri, they had a sideshow museum and had a two-headed calf and a mermaid, Little Mermaid.
All right, so this is a little bit off topic. Have you ever been in one of those at a county fair? And they have the sideshow people.
Dude, I've done it. So one of them was a headless woman, and it was just an optical illusion. It was like a mirror, effect where it made it look like it was. Yeah, it was like the world's smallest person.
I saw that.
I felt so bad. And it's like a little person watching. He's sitting there watching the TV, like they had like a little television. He's just sitting there as people walk by, and just stare at him. Dude.
I did. I felt. I know. I think mine was. It was the world's smallest lady. Was at the Delta Fair in Memphis one year, and you walk by, and she's just texting away.
Yeah,
like I feel bad. I'm like,
I did too.
I know, like
you
from
just
her size,
you just paid to look at a little person.
I know, and that makes me feel bad. But then again, what else is she gonna do? She's like 2 foot tall.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things she could do.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
There's lots of computer jobs that I'm sure she'd be qualified for.
Probably.
But maybe it's easier to just sit there and text.
I did feel really bad. Just like, world's smallest lady. I'll give it a shot. And then it's an actual person. You're just like, oh, man. I'm a bad guy. I should not have paid to support this. This isn't 1832.
Mel Kiper went to school at Calvert Hall.
Huh. So that, I guess it's Calvert Hall High School is what we're talking about here. That was outside of Baltimore. I knew Mel Kiper was... I knew he's from the Baltimore area.
Let me ask you this. Would this count as a roadside attraction to you?
Okay.
I've already told you about this. I was driving through Greenville, Mississippi, right across the border from Lake Village, Arkansas. And this is what I think are cool when you're not expecting something like this. And I didn't know that Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets, was from Leland, Mississippi, which is right there past Greenville. And they had a little Jim Henson museum. And, and then there's like a... kind of like a creek bed, and then there's a sign there that this is where Jim Henson dreamed up the idea of Kermit the Frog when he was a kid. And so that was something that was completely unexpected, where that ended up making kind of a cool trip because, I saw something like Jim Henson just being a big Muppet fan.
Well, I mean, who doesn't love Kermit the Frog?
But I always like to pick up like a souvenir from, just something small. Usually it'll be like a cup. If they have a cup with the place's logo, I've got one from there. I've got one from Elvis's childhood home in Tupelo, Mississippi. And I just love it. It's like years later, you're in your cabinet, you're going to pour yourself a drink. It's like, there's my Elvis Tupelo childhood home cup.
See, I'm pretty sure I've talked about it before, how I collect lapel pins. Like, that's my big collection.
I honestly don't know if you've ever mentioned that.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's a good one.
I collect lapel pins, and it got started because of it's a big thing at music festivals. Or at least it was, 10 years ago when I was around the age of going to music festivals a lot, of putting them on hats, and it's called being heady. It was the quote unquote term of it, and you trade pins with people at the festival. So that's where I picked up that.
They do that at Disney World.
Yeah, I've learned that from my
fiance told you,
who was a Disney adult. So, but it was more of the.
She's a Disney head.
She is a Disney head, I guess. But that was more of the cool festival version of what they do at Disney. 877-377-6963. We get a text out of the 901. Said he hit up the world's largest pistachio at McGinn's Farm in, somewhere in New Mexico. Alamogordo?
That sounds right. Alamogordo, New Mexico. You never heard of it?
No, not. I can't say I spent a lot of time in Alamogordo, in New Mexico. Other texts that we're getting in here. Andy in Bentonville on the way to Mount Rushmore. Stopped here. I'm going to have to pull it up. Waldrug, South Dakota. We've gotten a few people that have sent in Waldrug. Is it just like what is it, though?
I'm not.
Is it just a wall
from Waldrug
of drugs? Like, we've had a few submissions about Waldrug. I know that's probably the second or third one that I've seen.
Waldrug homemade donuts? Yeah. Interesting.
It's just.
Dude, yeah, I'm watching the video of it now. Oh, they got like a shooting gallery, and animatronic dinosaurs. This looks very similar to what that stop in Uranus, Missouri, where it's just a big tourist trap, and has all this kind of.
Apparently, though, I would like to try to find the message here, but I'm scrolling back and I can't seem to find it at the moment. The other person who sent that in said it's the only thing for like 100 miles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, then you stop and you take your time.
Stop there. Because you're probably not getting anything else entertaining along the way.
Yeah, on their website it says the geographical center of nowhere. So, yeah, you're going to be very happy to come across the Waldrug.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of callers here.
Do we want to take the break first or get to them now?
I say we get to them now. Let's start
who we got?
First Jerry, and then we'll get Tuna.
All right, Jerry.
He was a little hesitant to come on, but I persuaded him. Jerry, thank you for coming on the air.
Jerry, we're nice people. We're not going to attack you or anything. What you got for us, Jerry?
Well, I take lunch at noon every day, and I was hoping to jump on here and listen to some Razorback news and, Hershey Kershad and Andrew Benattini and y'all's lapel pins that you pick up on your road trips.
We talked some Razorbacks earlier today, and we'll get to them throughout the show.
Well, it sounds like a Derek Ruskin show.
Oh, come on, dude.
Wish I would talk about some hogs.
Dude, I mean, that's a low blow, man.
Appreciate it, Jerry.
Thanks,
go ahead and hang up on Jerry there. Jerry,
I was going to give him all the time in the world.
We'll talk about
maybe Jerry can come and do the show.
On the other side. We'll get Tuna on the other side. But we will get to more sports. It's kind of just it's middle of the summer there, buddy. You have interesting topics, and we're going to get to that kind of stuff. You just got to stick with us throughout the whole show. We talked a lot of college football in hour one. We're going to talk more college football in hour two as we got David Cobb at the bottom of the show. So I'm sorry that we weren't talking about what you wanted to talk about when you turned on your radio.
Well,
there,
he
Jerry.
Takes his lunch break at noon. This is the only time he can listen. He has 15 minutes during his lunch break from the whatever place he works
Maddie,
in.
you're seeing me make a note. Tomorrow.
At 12 o'clock when Jerry takes his lunch break.
At noon.
Repeat everything you said in the first hour.
I'm going to repeat everything. So everybody else that listened through the first whole hour, you're just going to have to hold on because we got to give Jerry his news. So we'll get to Tuna on the other side as we've still got plenty of show. And if you would like to not be a buzzkill and text in your roadside attractions at 877-377-6963, we'd be glad to take you. So keep those coming in as we'll continue the conversation. And Jerry, yes.
Killjoy Jerry.
We will get back to sports, Sometimes you can take a detour
maybe,
every now and then.
Or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll talk about whatever we want to talk about because it's our show and not yours, Jerry.
877-377-6963. We'll be back, like I said. David Cobb from CBS Sports. He'll join us at the bottom of the hour where we talk SEC Media Days, college football realignment, and everything else going on around college athletics. So keep it tuned in to whichever one of the ESPN Arkansas stations you're listening to. We really appreciate it. And we'll be right back here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
The Morning Rush will be live on location this Friday, July 15th at Hardee's on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. During the Morning Rush from 6 to 9 a.m., dollar sausage biscuits at all Fort Smith and Salisaw Hardee's locations. Will you eat your sausage biscuit plain with strawberry jelly, grape jelly, or something else? You decide for $1 this Friday at Hardee's, Fort Smith, and Salisaw locations from 6 to 9 a.m.
Hardee's homemade biscuits. They're baked fresh every morning.
Hello, this is Sue from the paint store in Van Buren. We are set and ready for all your spring and summer projects. We keep real samples of your Richards paint on file so we can be sure it matches every time. No computer can do that. The paint store in Van Buren. Color expertise and 34 years of knowledge outweighs all the competition. No other paint seller can do that. The paint store in Van Buren, Fayetteville Road, 474-4505.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust, Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your plumbing service. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
Arkansas Valley Electric members living in Knoxville and Augsburg and surrounding areas, you can now sign up. Wave Rural Connect Internet is available for you. Fast fiber internet, TV, and even phone service. Internet starting at $49.95 a month, TV at $43.99, and phone for $29.95. Sign up now at signup.waveruralconnect.com or 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center now offers in-stock vinyl plank flooring starting at 89 cents per square foot. If you're a do-it-yourself kind of person, they have all the materials needed to lay your new flooring, or you can choose their professional installation. Whatever your choice, give them a call today to get a free same-day estimate. Financing available. For the best customer service from flooring to countertops, Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center is your local flooring professional. Check them out online at flooring.norrisms.com or on the corner of Wheeler and South Y, 479-289-7111. Hablamos Espanol.
Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith is open and ready to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations available for ages 5 and up and the new second booster for ages 50 and up. These vaccines are safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Call 452-6116 to schedule your booster appointment or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith, where it's happy hour all day, every day. Stop by anytime and try our $4 cocktails. Choose from a Bloody Mary, Cape Cod, Tequila Sunrise, Whiskey Sour, and more. There's also $5 glasses of wine, and Miller Lite 12-ounce drafts are always just $2. Get to TGI Fridays for lunch Monday through Friday for our $9.99 burger deal, available until 3 p.m. and comes with fries and a soft drink, tea, or Miller Lite draft. Order online for pickup at Fridays.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. A woman done left and took all the reason I was working for. You better not try to stand in my way as I'm walking out the door. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more.
Find us on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
And welcome back, everybody, to halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. We really appreciate you listening, even you, Jerry, and even you, Darren and Harrison. Like, I don't know if I've ever publicly addressed Darren and Harrison.
Oh, you're giving him what he wants now.
Just for 5 seconds, and then I'll be done with it. I don't understand people like this. I just don't. One, he criticizes me all the time. I am his least favorite person. Not just on radio, but I'm guessing on the face of the earth. But he continues to text in about how much he can't wait till Phil comes back, how the show needs to get better, how I need to get out of here. But Darren, let me ask you, is somebody holding a gun to your head? Is somebody making you listen to this program? You know Phil's not on the show, bro. So, like, there's a dial on every radio. You could, I'm just guessing, pick up a different radio station. Phil will be back on Thursday, bro. But until then, we're going to have a good time, and we're going to do the show the way that we best see fit. And we hope that most of you enjoy it, and I think most of you do. And I just want to remind people, we're not here to do a show for Darren. We're not here to do a show for Jerry. We're here to do a show for the entire state and for multiple people. So that's just my 2 cents. I normally don't let the haters and these people get under my skin.
They're getting to you, dude.
But I do. That's my final PSA. Send the hate, send the criticism. I really don't care.
You know you can't.
You're not gonna hurt. You're not gonna turn me away from this job. You're not gonna make me go back to Memphis with my tail between my legs, buddy. I'm here to stay. So
you can't please everybody all the time.
You really can't. 877-377-6963. One person that I do know that loves the show.
I think he just sent a message in that says, "Why don't you cry some more about it?"
So Tuna is on hold. Tuna, yeah, we need after that we need some positivity spun back in.
Oh, he was saying to Jerry was cry some more, Jerry.
Yeah, I was talking about him.
Oh, okay.
I was exactly who I was talking about. Like, bro, get a life. I mean, really?
I know. It is what it is. We just need to let's move on. Let's not even address it anymore. Tuna, what do you got for us? What do you want to talk about today?
All right, man. I was going to defend you, Drew. I got you, bro.
I know you do, and I appreciate that. But let's move on. Let's move past it. Let's get back to whatever you wanted, whatever the Tuna had on tap today.
Well, I mean, I really haven't heard much today about what y'all been talking about. To be honest,
it's been a lot of sports talk. No, we were yesterday. Our random summer topic was the belief in aliens, Bigfoot. Today it is what is the favorite roadside attraction you've ever stopped and visited, or one that you wish you would have stopped at?
Oh.
Yeah, you're on the spot now.
On the spot. What do you got for us?
Man.
What's the biggest roadside attraction down in Camden? I'm swinging through. Swinging through Camden, Charlie, and I've got 30 minutes. What do I do?
There's not that many in Camden. There's actually only one, and it actually got shut down.
Oh.
But I used to go there all the time, and it was a fun spot to kind of hang out and do different things. More so pop fireworks. That's what I used it for. But because I'm not like other people and pop fireworks in the middle of the city and be ignorant neighbors. That's just not me. I don't do that. And do it past 10 o'clock at night. So anyway, my point about that is, that used to be a fun spot for me to do that. Just kind of hang out and chill. But no, it's shut down now. That's it. It's gone. And I really, I've done a lot of traveling, but I don't really pay attention to the roadside attractions. to be honest with you. I will bring in a little sports here, only because, Drew, I know you love the NBA. I love the NBA just like you, Drew. And you brought on the guest yesterday, about the summer league stuff and things of that. And I do want to ask you about the big man. I know you're not thinking he's Zebo 2.0 yet, but when I made that comment, I think his game, when I said that, kind of reminded me, and also just from the standpoint of he probably obviously needs to lean out a bit. He's really big. He's kind of one of those guys you root for, though, because people are talking ugly about him, and he don't look like that typical guy that you 6'7", 290 pounds, whatever he is, that you would think that would go out there and hoop. But I mean, this dude, I was just enjoying watching him play the other day, and it wasn't just because he was playing against Chet. I like Chet. I think Chet's going to be great with his length and things of that nature. But I'm rooting for the kid. Was he a second-round pick for y'all, or did he fall out and y'all picked him up?
We got him in the second.
Okay, cool. I'm rooting for him. I don't know, I know y'all. He may not necessarily play much, early on, but I think he'll find a way into this league. I don't know, as far as Zebo's story, how long it took him. I know it took him some time probably to kind of get going. So I'm rooting for the kid. I really like him. I enjoy watching him play. I know it's just summer league, but still, that's just my opinion. Also, I was going to ask, I think y'all had brought up the other day about KJ and running and him protecting himself. I will say sometimes, with the system that we're running, with the RPO system, he's really reading it out. And so he's really the ultimate decision maker. And sometimes I don't know if he necessarily can avoid running, I guess you say. And so I always say with an RPO system, it's not necessarily a design run. It's three options on the play. And I know that break's coming up, fixing to get off here, but sometimes his decision is to run, and it's the right one. So I would say, yeah, he may need to protect himself, but he doesn't take unnecessary hits now, but he does try to run people over. So I hope he is, good with that this year and, kind of slides a little more. I think that Texas A&M hit was a little bit late on his knee. But anyways, guys, I appreciate it.
I appreciate the call, Tuna. And, yeah, a lot of great things that we've gotten to see out of the NBA Summer League. And, I think Kenny Laughlin Jr., like you said, he could be a major steal. I don't know how many people really had him really high on their board at a La Tech. So, but then again, like we talked with Keith Smith yesterday on the Summer League, how much stock can you really take into it? Because a lot of your competition, now obviously Chet Holmgren doesn't fit in this category, but a lot of your competition are going to be G League or European players. So it's not like they're going up against your Dame Lillards, your LeBron James, your ADs, your KDs, your Kyries, and everybody else of the superstar caliber type of talent in the NBA. To address just a few headlines, I did want to get to. I think most people have heard about Heston's move up. He's moved from low single A up to high A. He'll be playing for the Ironbirds. He's had an incredible season thus far. Hopefully, if you're keeping track, he's not going to make it to a major league roster this year. That's not enough time, as we've already passed the halfway point and are about to hit the All-Star break. But I think it's very easy that he could move up to Double-A. I think if he can finish the season at Double-A, he's got a great shot of making his major league debut with the hottest team in baseball. That's right, the Baltimore Orioles. Also do want to mention some other Arkansas baseball news, as Arkansas right-handed pitcher Austin Ledbetter, he had a dominating performance last night for the Princeton Whistle Pigs in the Appalachian League. He threw 5 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, but did have 6 Ks. So Austin Ledbetter had himself a night in the Appalachian League for the Princeton Whistling Pigs. I guess you're always a hog, ain't you there?
Once you're a hog, you're a hog dog.
You are a hog dog. Before we get to David Cobb, I do want to let you know that this portion of the show is brought to you by North Material and Supply Flooring Center, 803 South Y Street at the corner of Wheeler and Y. 479-289-7111. In stock vinyl plank flooring starting at 89 cents per square foot, all in stock and ready to take home today. They've got plenty of different styles, including carpet, hardwood, natural stone, like we said, tile, vinyl planks, metal tiles, glass tiles. They've got it, all the supplies to do yourself or get professional installation today. And they even do countertops. Check them out on Facebook at Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center, formerly Fort Smith Flooring, and online at flooring.norrisms.com. And if you want to call them, the number again is 479-289-7111. When we come back, we will talk SEC Media Days, college football with CBS Sports' David Cobb.
Instagram and tuxedos with my peoples. We growing up, still don't seem like we slowing up. 10 squad, we throwing up every time that we showing up. Get it while I'm living. All I ever hear is the clock tick, tick, tick. So I'm about my business and I'm running with it now. They don't wanna give it up. We gon' make it out. Get it while I'm living.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. And folks, this is my favorite time of year. It's Jeep Freedom Days. And you know, at Red River, one thing we believe in, that's freedom. Like right now, you've got the freedom to order your car online at redriverjeep.com. You can custom build it and get it however you want. And you have the freedom to take the in-person experience and come in and order your vehicle right here from a salesperson or buy one right off our lot. So make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs or check us out online at redriverdodge.com.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment. From high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders and mini excavators, WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors or see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need additional construction equipment to continue growing? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website at WTEquip.com.
Why do people do business with First Western? Because First Western builds relationships with all of their customers. They partner for the long haul to help you with your financial goals over all seasons of life. First Western is prompt, responsive, and they deliver with quick answers and on-time loan closings. When is the last time your banker called you? If you are looking for a high level of service and a financial partner who will listen and respond, try First Western. For more information, visit them online at firstwestern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Picture another world, another dimension, where left is right, up is down, and chicken sandwiches only cost $1. This place exists, and it's called the Hardee's app. So when you buy one hand-breaded chicken sandwich, you get another for just $1. Cluck bait. It's time to fall for some cluck bait. Bite into the hand-breaded chicken menu only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants exclusively in the Hardee's app or website by registered My Rewards members. Tax not included. See app or website for additional terms and conditions.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
How would you like for your family to swim for free for a year? Well, it's possible this summer with Burton Pools and Spas. It's the Red, White, and Blue Savings Event going on now. Hi, Tommy Kraft here for Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Here's the deal. Choose 0% interest and no payments for the next 12 months, or take a rebate up to $2,000 off on Doughboy semi-in-ground pools or Doughboy above-ground pools. It's the Red, White, and Blue Savings Event going on right now, and there's no better way to spend time with your family this summer than in your own backyard with your own pool by Doughboy. Nobody makes a better semi-in-ground pool or above-ground pool than Doughboy. And you can always trust the team from Burton Pools and Spas for a quality installation. Hey, this is a limited time offer at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Swim for free for a year. Find out more online at burtonpools.com. 0% offer good with approved credit at Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, where you can get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
NWA Gold and Silver has moved to a new location in Fort Smith at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express. NWA Gold and Silver is always buying gold and silver, scrap, bullion, and coins. Plus, NWA Gold and Silver buys and sells jewelry of all kinds. Diamond rings, wedding bands, engagement rings, earrings, and more. Bring in your gold or silver today to the people that pay the most and have the best deals. NWA Gold and Silver in their new location at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
What you want, honey, you got it. And what you need, baby, you got it. All I'm asking for a little respect when I come home. Hey, now, hey, hey, hey. Yeah, now, do me wrong, honey, if you want to. You can do me wrong, honey, while I'm gone.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
About to be joined by David Cobb from CBS Sports. He does a great job covering all things college football and college basketball for CBS Sports. Give him a follow on Twitter at David W. Cobb. Before we do get to David, I probably should have done this last segment. So everybody that's texted in defense, we do appreciate you listening, that you do like the show. But once again, we don't want to address all the hate. And it was Terry, not Jerry.
That was our first mistake.
Yes.
I love this, too, that as we went into break, you were still going off about it. And I'm like, I'm sitting here reading this
and then
message.
You're like, dude,
I was like, yeah.
Go ahead and read what Terry, not Jerry
Dude,
said.
it's Terry, not Jerry, first
Sorry.
of all. Drew, oh, my God, Drew. I know this
I
makes you
feel-
feel sick.
I
You
feel
are a
bad
great
now.
broadcaster, but I just wanted to hear about them Hogs. You do a great job, but I only get an hour to catch up, and I always depended on this show to provide the information. Have a great day, and go Hogs.
I'm sorry,
Meanwhile,
Terry.
that whole last segment, I was sitting there reading that, and then you're
I
still
have-
like, Ben, and
I
then we
get out-
we
I
get
get
into
all-
break, and he's still going off. I'm like, dude, did you even look at the text message from Terry?
My bad, Terry. I appreciate
We're
you
all
listening.
we're all on good
We're
terms
all
now.
good, man. We're all good. And I guess, it wouldn't hurt to do, some headlines, top of the hour headlines, I guess, a little bit more than continuing our conversation from last hour. But a conversation that we have to get into. And it is with David Cobb. We got to talk about all the craziness that's going on in college football. So, David, the best place to start, I think, is instead of just picking between national college football and SEC media days, it's just the topic that is on everyone's mind, and that's realignment. First and foremost, we haven't had you on the show since the Big Ten, USC, UCLA news. How far out of left field did that feel to you, or have you reached the point to where anything's possible?
Well, it feels out of left field. I think that's a great way to put it when you think about the geography of the transition, because USC and UCLA make zero sense from a Big Ten geographical standpoint. And now you're talking about 3 time zones apart for those LA schools traveling out to the East Coast time zone schools that are in the Big Ten. That's preposterous. And so that is, to me, what was most stunning about these 2 schools in particular. It really wasn't that there was additional realignment, because it felt like after Texas and OU, there were always going to be more dominoes to fall. But just seeing the chasm open up within the Power 5 structure geographically like that, I think it's still kind of difficult to wrap your minds around. And I think that in particular is an issue that the coaches at USC and UCLA probably aren't thrilled about, because if you're talking about making multiple cross-country trips every season, that's pretty taxing. 5 and 6 hour flights multiple times a season from a football standpoint. And then from a basketball standpoint, it's far from ideal as well if you're talking about doing that type of trip on a weeknight.
Yeah, and you talk about trips. I mean, just on the face of it, when you jump time zones like that, we've already talked about travel, but now is travel going to have to be moved up to where these teams and even teams on the Big Ten side, current members, might have to roll into town on Wednesday, Thursday now at the latest just to get adjusted to time zones, because we see a lot of times when you jump 2-3 time zones like they're going to have to do, that the better team doesn't always win because it does mess with the body.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to hear the term body clock now a lot more. It's already something that college football coaches had a little bit of a pet peeve on, which is, these scenarios in which when you do have to make a cross-country trip and the game starts at noon Eastern, but it's really like 9 a.m. according to the Pacific time, or vice versa. If you're an East Coast team, if you're Rutgers now, and the Big Ten schedules you to go play against UCLA in a game that kicks off at 7 Pacific, well, that's 10 p.m. on your quote-unquote body clock. So the coaches who are going to have to travel more as a part of this, I'm sure, are not thrilled. And then you also just think about from a competitive standpoint, if you're Lincoln Riley or Chip Kelly, let's go one at a time there. You're Chip Kelly. You finally made traction last year in the Pac-12. You got back to 8-4. You're looking ahead to building up to maybe 9 or 10 wins in the next season or two. Well, all of a sudden, when you go to the Big Ten, you might lose a lot of that momentum if you're at UCLA and be happy to just go 6-6 in a league that tough. And for USC, the expectation under Lincoln Riley is that they're going to compete for and win national titles. Well, that was going to be easier for USC to accomplish in the Pac-12 because it's just not as difficult of a football league. Well, now all of a sudden you put them in the Big Ten, and they're going to have to play Michigan State and Penn State and Wisconsin and Iowa, and not to mention Ohio State on a regular basis. It's just the path to winning is more difficult, I think, for really everyone involved, but in particular for USC and UCLA. So I get it from a money standpoint. It's all about the money, and the finances are going to be great from that Big Ten media rights deal. But the wins and losses thing, that's kind of important to your fans, and that's going to be more difficult to make success when you're in the Big Ten now.
It definitely will. And, this move sent shockwaves, I think, maybe not as big as Texas and OU, especially, on this side of the country. Those are just two. I think if you polled most people would say OU and Texas are bigger brands than even two schools like USC and UCLA. So I don't think it's in as big of shockwaves, but big shockwaves through the college football landscape a few weeks ago. And it's kind of hard to feel bad for some of the other programs in the Pac-12 or in the Big Ten or in the Big 12, because we're starting to look like this super conference thing is going to be a possibility. And it's hard to feel bad for these programs because they're almost doing it to themselves. And more importantly, the commissioners of these leagues are doing it to themselves because Greg Sankey told him, if you expand the playoff, it's better for you more than it is for me. He basically says, I'm getting mine in. You haven't. Why are you doing this to themselves? So when all the dust does settle and one of these leagues are probably going to be gone, doesn't it feel like they only had themselves to blame at this point?
Yeah, the college football playoff expansion bit is going to be huge in determining whether or not the remaining teams in the Pac-12 and the Big 12 still feel like big boys or not. Because if there is still access for an automatic qualifier out of the Pac-12 or an automatic qualifier out of the Big 12, as was discussed last spring, well, then they can survive and be okay, and their fan bases will be engaged because it's all about the glimmer of hope, for a fan base. And if there is still a path under a new college football playoff format in the coming years for those programs, then I think they'll manage to survive even without the massive financial payouts of the other leagues. But if the playoff becomes something incredibly exclusive where Kevin Warren and Greg Sankey kind of box everyone else out, well, you know what? Then those other teams and those other leagues are going to fade into oblivion. And you're right. I think in particular with the Pac-12, they really only have themselves to blame because if they didn't see the possibility or the likelihood of losing members at this point in time, well, they were just being ignorant or being blind. And instead of being proactive last year after the OU and Texas move and going after some of the leftover Big 12 teams like Texas Tech and Oklahoma State and Baylor and TCU and some of the other decent brands left in the Big 12, the Pac-12 just sat on their laurels. And we were like, well, we don't want to go after somebody who's not a tier 1 research institution, and we don't want to be affiliated with somebody who has a religious connotation to their school. And it's like, guys, what are we talking about? This is a sports conference. Like, nobody's going to make you collaborate on microbiology. It's a sports conference, and the Pac-12 was just too uppity, not pragmatic enough, and now they are in an incredibly vulnerable position because they were just ignorant to the reality at this time last year.
Hey, that is a great way to put it, David. Before we get to some storylines around SEC Media Days, where do you think all the dust settles? How big do these leagues get? Being reported to the SEC, at least for right now, and right now can literally mean 12:45 on a Tuesday and not 12:45 on a Wednesday. But as of right now, the SEC says that they're going to stay at 16. But how far do you see these conferences going? Do you see them getting to 20? Do you see them 24? Heck, could they go to 30?
Yeah, I mean, eventually they're going to expand again. Eventually they will, I think, because part of the reason I think why the SEC has come out and indicated that it is likely to remain at 16 for now is just because of the difficulty of getting these ACC teams out of their grants of rights. So we know that ACC TV deal runs through 2036, and that there would be significant legal and financial repercussions for anyone who tried to get out of that and jump ship right now. And I think that's probably the reason why it feels like the SEC is going to stay put for now, is because from a brand addition, a value standpoint, geography, the Florida States, the Clemsons, the Virginia Techs, the Miamis of the world feel like North Carolina, there's some others, feel like they would be the best additions to the SEC. But does the SEC really want to try to deal with everything that would be involved with breaking up that ACC grant of rights? That I doubt the appetite is there for that. So I think ultimately you might see some of those ACC schools in other conferences in the future, but that grant of rights that they're in right now is going to keep them from jumping. And they're the most valuable brands that are left, because the leftover Big 12 schools are not all that valuable. The leftover Pac-12 schools, kind of in the same boat. Oregon and Washington are good programs, but they're not total earth shakers. So the best value programs left out there are in the ACC. It's just going to be really hard for them to go anywhere for now.
We're talking with David Cobb from CBS Sports. You can follow him on Twitter at David W. Cobb. David, SEC Media Days is only 6 days away. What are some of the storylines that you're going to be really following along this coming week?
Well, it will be nice just to get back to the football discussion, right? Because these last, ever since the NCAA tournament ended, the discussion, anytime I'm on with you guys or somebody else, it naturally and rightfully so turns to the off-field dynamics that are changing in college sports and NIL and transferring and all this transformation and realignment that we're seeing. And that's part of it, and it's fun to a certain extent. But the reason we all love college sports is because of what happens on Saturdays. And, to get into talking season and breaking down rosters, looking ahead to storylines for the season ahead, like that's going to be really refreshing next week. And so I think Greg Sankey's address will be huge, because he's the head of the NCAA's transformation committee, and he's the most powerful man in college athletics, and we got to see what he's going to say next week, and that'll be significant. But shortly thereafter, when he steps away from the podium, the attention is going to turn to the 2022 football season, and it's going to be a good one. I mean, look, the SEC West, it's going to be just as loaded and stacked and difficult as ever. And, we're going to start to get a chance to talk about some of that stuff and break some of that stuff down. And that's going to be really refreshing when we get to that point.
Well, David, last thing for you real quick, because we are kind of up against the break. If you were going to be in Atlanta, where would you rank the Hogs in the SEC West this year?
Yeah, I think they've got a shot at, being that second or third place team. It's pretty wide open after Alabama, in my opinion. Texas A&M, we keep thinking, are they finally going to break through? This is finally going to be the year. Well, we haven't really seen it. So until they do that, until they solidify themselves as a division title contender on a perennial basis, second place in my mind remains up for grabs behind Alabama. And so Arkansas is one of a handful of teams, but certainly talented enough. The culture piece, as we all know, is phenomenal. So with KJ Jefferson back, who I think is probably the third or fourth best quarterback in the conference, yeah, they're going to have a shot to finish second. And I'd have to break it down, but I would probably end up putting them third behind Texas A&M, but I think they at least have a shot to beat out Texas A&M for number 2 in the West.
Well, we'll leave it there, David. I appreciate you coming on with us and joining us. And next time we bring you on, we'll talk about things that are actually going to happen on the field. So make sure you brush up, because I will ask you about the third-string right tackle for Mississippi State next time, okay?
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate that. That's David Cobb from CBS Sports. Follow him on Twitter at David W. Cobb. Do want to let you know that this portion of the show is brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina. It's Taco Tuesday, crispy taco, beef and chicken for $1. Pork carnitas tacos for $2.93. Brisket tacos $3.95. Also got some drink specials: Busch Light draft for $1, Ultra draft for $2.25, Bud Light also for $2.25, craft beers $3.25 on draft right now at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Go see them at 3400 South 74th Street. Right here in Fort Smith. We'll close out the Tuesday edition of Halftime next.
The summer sell-down sales event is going on right now at Breen RV in Van Buren. New 2023 models are starting to arrive from Forest River, Keystone, Coachman, and StarCraft, all backed by Breen RV's free maintenance for life program. Cure your summertime blues in a 29-foot StarCraft that sleeps up to 10 people for just $229 a month with zero down. With savings up to $20,000 off MSRP on new travel trailers, now is the best time to get your new RV from Breen RV. That's Breen RV in Van Buren, where adventures begin.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport.
The company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including this year's Wimbledon Finals, Major League Baseball, the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to get the bonus and get into the action. Bet online, where the game starts.
This song was mistakenly thought to be about animal rights or shock therapy, but Shock the Monkey is really about jealousy. If we're just highly evolved primates, then why does adultery make us so irate? Natural selection would never make you hate someone who would seminate. It's because a supernatural God wired monogamy into our DNA. If you think this issue is benign, you'll be shocked to see Proverbs 6:29. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
A pre-owned vehicle that won't break the bank? Good luck in this market.
But wait, Joe knows good deals. That's right, Joe can get you in a pre-owned car as low as $269 a month, or a truck starting at only $299 a month. Joe knows how to give you more for your trade and save your hard-earned cash. Come see Joe at the Crane Used Car Supercenter, because Joe knows. U.S. Highway 71 in Fort Smith.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man.
running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Starting at $3.99, including everything you need to set up. Purchase a Split King adjustment for $15.99 and receive a free Split King mattress. There is also tons more savings. You can get a complete California King set for 85% off. And don't forget to ask about the sofa and love seat settings and sectional starting as low as $8.99. Cheap Sleep mattresses and furniture located in Springdale, Fort Smith, Bentonville, and Conway. Tell them you heard it right here on ESPN Arkansas. You get yourself a free gift. That is Cheap Sleep mattresses and furniture. 877-377-6963. Only one more text. Time for one more text here. And I have to ask. I'm guessing Rob is military because I don't know how you would be driving. Yeah, I guess he says Fort Wainwright in Fairbanks, Alaska to Clarksville, Tennessee. There's obviously the Army base in Clarksville, Tennessee. That's a pretty far drive. But he said he stopped at the world's, at the time, largest mall in Edmonton, Canada, and then stopped at Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore would that be a roadside attraction?
I mean, it's off the road.
Yes, but that's more of a destination. Like,
yeah, you make a trip to go see. Yeah,
it's like the Grand Canyon. Nobody's.
This was more things you weren't expecting. You happened to see a sign on the side, and you're like, oh, I'll try this out.
Yeah.
Rushmore destination.
We'll have another topic tomorrow. Maddie, do you want to preview the topic, or are we going to keep it a secret?
It's going to be a secret.
Oh, it's a secret. Oh, I don't even know, people. This is going to be fun. We'll be back tomorrow. Do want to thank the absent Phil Elson, Maddie T.
Bring back Phil.
Thanks for David Cobb and Alyssa Orange for joining us. I'm Drew Barrett. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful and blessed day.